Hello, this is Jess, and this is a Luna Light Intuitive Tarot channel. This particular reading is called Them versus You. It can be helpful for any sort of conflict in a relationship, um, really a relationship that has ended, or two people that are separated and not having contact. Um, it can be for any kind of relationship, but generally I read it as a romantic one. But apply it how it fits. If it doesn't fit, don't try to make it. It may not be your story and it can't possibly be everybody's. Um, and if it doesn't, just check out the reading for your rising moon or Venus sign. That one might resonate more. Cross watchers, you're welcome here. Everyone, please remember that all references to feminine and masculine here, they refer to energy and not gender. Each side is interchangeable. So if you're finding that the reading doesn't fit for you on this side, but it sounds like it's flipped, then flip it. It's just totally that easy. And lastly, I read cards more intuitively. So sometimes I might interpret a card in a less traditional way. If that's not your cup of tea, that's okay. If that's not your thing, that's fine. There are so many talented and insightful readers that read in a more traditional style on YouTube that you can find and listen to. So I hope you'll seek something like that out. Also, I do tend to cuss. I try not to do it much. It's who I am, so it might come out. That's your warning. And if it resonates, please let me know. It's a baby channel and I want it to grow. So like and subscribe if you like it. And just know I appreciate all of you. And this Them versus You is for fire signs: Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. And how this reading goes, this side here is them, and this side here is you. And we'll just work through it that way. Okay? All right. So who are they? And you have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands reversed. So they're intuitive and sensitive. They may be a water sign. The Queen of Cups, they're Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But it could just be this very loving person, this energy of the Queen of Cups. Cups are emotions and intuition and love, right? They're empathetic and compassionate. They're more in touch with the subconscious and the universe. They might be reserved and a bit mysterious, but they are quite intelligent. They're likely warm and creative, nurturing. Again, cups are love. I always kind of found it interesting that the Queen and the Rider-Waite deck, which is what I use, I don't have much experience with oracle cards. I hope I can gain some experience and incorporate those into my readings, but I'm using the traditional Rider-Waite deck. Anyway, and in the Rider-Waite deck, this Queen of Cups is the only queen that doesn't face you. She is looking over the ocean and the tide, and water signs, if this is a water sign, are kind of moody, like the tides, right? They can be naturally spiritual, psychic, they're magnetic, but they can also be independent. They're full of depth. I mean, it's the ocean. So this person's more introspective than most fire signs because that's just the strength of a water sign, right? And fire signs are so usually much more confident and action oriented. But this person is someone that can be trusted and likes to support the people that they love. And Knight of Pentacles reversed is so much different than the Queen of Cups, though. So in the upright, he's patient and committed. He's reliable. In the reverse, this person's not flowing like water. They might feel stuck and stagnant, kind of unfulfilled, especially like in their career or their home life, maybe. They might kind of neglect financial issues or personal issues. It may just be this person is really struggling under the weight of some responsibilities they have at work or in personal matters. It's common that a water sign tries to take on helping roles with friends, coworkers, partners, and in this way, they kind of avoid taking care of their own problems, right? But wherever you go, you follow yourself, and their problems are still with them, and they'll quickly burn out if they keep functioning this way. And that's what it looks like your person may have done, right? The Knight and Queen of Cups, I bet this person is a homebody. Yeah. Some of the other cards in here kind of point to some more compulsive, impulsive behaviors. So, I mean, maybe, and this is a long shot, but for some of you, this person may be an impulsive shopper, right? They want instant gratification, even at the detriment of their long-term financial stability. Pentacles represent earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, and that might be meaningful to some of you. And so lastly, this person's now at the Four of Wands reversed. And it indicates someone who've maybe more focused on appearances than how things actually are. This person's life has got a lot of conflict and drama, and it may not even be their own. They just keep taking on all this other stuff from other people. And really, they need to learn to love themselves before they attempt to have, deep and serious relationships, maybe. That kind of looks like what's happening. They're just kind of empty, y'all. When the Four of Wands is upright, it's stability, it's balance, but reverse, it indicates this person just doesn't have a solid foundation to work on, and they're kind of out of balance, and so they've got some work to do there. So maybe that sounds like the person you're dealing with. For you, Temperance, the Ace of Wands, and the King of Pentacles, and that is a little bit blurry. I think that cleared up just a little bit. I hope you can see that. Temperance represents this lesson that real change, takes time, and one's ability to be patient and to have self-control are virtues that have to be honed. It talks about moderation and balance and frugality. It kind of warns you that the extremes of any situation should be avoided. It implies that you're at a place where you know who you are and what you want to achieve and how you plan on realizing your goals. It kind of says that you found yourself and are at peace with the way that life is unfolding your own. And the essence of temperance is balance. And with your person over here completely unbalanced, this Four of Wands reverse, this had to be a difficult thing to navigate because you're somewhere else and that's where you really want to be. And even if you love each other, it doesn't mean you can put your life on hold when they're out of balance. And maybe that's what's been happening. We'll keep going and kind of see. These two cups here, she holds in a way like she can just mix liquids, right? It's kind of it kind of represents the super and the subconscious mind, union, infinity. It defies physics. It looks like this water is running up. It's really hard to know if it's running down or if it's running up. And she has this halo around her head, and at the end of the path she's on, there's another. So these halos represent, enlightenment. It says that one has to follow their own path. They have to trust themselves and make decisions for themselves to receive that light, that enlightenment. See it here? See it there? I'll show you. That card's not very clear because it's all the way back here. So let me bring it closer for you. She even has this, it looks like an eye, right? She's got one foot on the ground and then one in the water, and the ground is the material world and the other is a representation of the subconscious, right? She's balanced between both realms. She has this square with a triangle inscribed inside of it, and that's kind of representative of the Trinity, holiness. Temperance is somebody who's patient. You're patient, you're balanced, you understand how to compromise. You could also be a healer and have some other psychic abilities. Or alchemy, maybe, I don't know, maybe you work with chemicals or medications or in the healing field. Some of you. The Ace of Wands, man, this is a person with the Ace of Wands is confident and has really high self-esteem. You know your ability, you have faith in the path that you're walking on, and it's associated with courage. You're a brave person. So when you see the Ace of Wands, it says, to look at your life and see how this energy could work for you. Daring, bravery, it's risk to get what you want. It's getting on the path that will excite you and push you beyond your limits, right? It's moving, it's pushing. It's telling you to go ahead and, seize this initiative and embrace your enthusiasm and keep going, keep going. You're doing great. The suit of power and fulfillment. This a wand is fire. It's passion. It's beginning. It's a beginning. The ace. You can assert yourself. You're creative. You're inspirational and inventive. You're starting to see and trust your own creative potential, and that you can really take it a long way. It also, wands are associated with action, so I mean, you have a lot of pentacles here on your side, more than anything else. Pentacles, so it really could be associated with invention, money, inheritance. That it really kind of depends on the cards around it. But with Pentacles, it's an earthly matter, so it seems like maybe this is your career, following a new passion that might bring something new to your life, maybe even income. And then you're the King of Pentacles, so you're the King of Pentacles, and this person's the Queen of Cups, which tells me that this is a really significant relationship. But cups flow, right? And the earth doesn't move, really. Not unless it's a natural disaster, right? Pentacles are stable. Earth and water go together really well, because they balance each other. But both of you are independent, and both of you kind of resist other people helping. And King of Pentacles is usually more mature, so perhaps there's an age difference here, and maybe you're older than this other person. But the King of Pentacles is loving, friendly, generous, and responsible. Money might not be the motivator for your actions, and your taste might be simple, but you like stability and not vanity. You're energetic, but you're still humble and modest. You sound like a catch. So here's what's kind of going on with your person, or what, may have been going on in this relationship, right? Six of Cups. Um, I feel like this person just has to work through some emotional stuff, maybe some shadow work. Um, some of these cards make me feel like there might be a mental health issue. I'm not, um, maybe depression. But the Six of Cups, it's going back to some childhood events. Sometimes people with childhood trauma kind of lock away their inner child, right? Um, because it's not safe to be childish in whatever situation they grew up in. And so sometimes when I see, especially these coming together like this, I wonder what's going on with this person's family. Are they grieving something? I don't see a Five of Cups, but it looks like there might be addiction issues, codependency issues, um, just the stuff that they have to work through. This person's super resilient. They know how to survive, but they just don't know how to thrive yet. So they're kind of looking at what they need to do so that they contribute, or what they're doing right now that's contributing to this lack of success and in this relationship and likely past relationships. Also, they may have children. If not, maybe they work with children. But I heard once, and it really stuck with me, and I read this card a lot like this now, um, that this larger person here is us, and this person here is our inner child, or who we were in the past, right? So we are kind of saying thank you to this child for surviving what they survived, but saying we don't need to do this anymore, right? Um, it's kind of melancholy, it's bittersweet, it's nostalgic. It's not necessarily a bad card or a grief card, but with the other cards here, I feel like something's happened that's really made them evaluate some really deep seated behaviors, thoughts, and fears. And it's time for them to work that out, because I feel like that really may have contributed to how this relationship is going. And it did affect them, and they realized that. So, the next card, the Six of Pentacles, your person is resilient and just giving. They're generous, and sometimes to their own detriment, right? They give and give and give, but they can't give if you're empty, right? I mean, I'm looking at the cards above this person. This person needs a refill before they can be an adequate partner, because they have to take better care of themselves. This card shows generosity, charity, community, support, sharing, gratitude. It just might indicate that this person is learning to ask for help, maybe. Maybe they're receiving it. But they just may be in like a contemplation phase about what maybe they need to do. And with the Devil right after that, it looks like they've got some really unhealthy patterns going on that they need a break. This is really interesting. 6, 6, and 6. That's significant. And it ends with the Devil, right? So let's see, that number, we think about it, we think of Satan, the Antichrist from the book of Revelations, right? And because of this, lots of people believe that seeing this number 666 is this negative omen or this bad sign. But in terms of numerology and not dogma, this number can actually be favorable. It's a number of balance. Mathematicians classify number 6. That's the first perfect number. The seraphim are the highest rank in the angelic hierarchy, have 6 wings, and communicate with humans. And Lucifer was an angel, if you kind of want to go there. I don't really, but um, it also kind of points to a sixth sense, psychic abilities, clairvoyance. Um, so those are really special characteristics and special powers that maybe are for this person, right? It also talks about creative thinking, problem solving, using your imagination to solve problems that maybe you never thought you'd be able to solve. Kind of, you know, sometimes we think attachment, feelings, and relationships and objects, these kinds of attachments are positive, but attachment and love are two different things. And sometimes the devil comes up, it means you've been spending too much time focusing on one particular aspect of your life and it's out of balance. I mean, that's kind of been the theme here, right? There's just no balance. The devil kind of shows us these unhealthy attachments, addiction, obsession, being bonded to ideas, thoughts, and behaviors that just don't serve us anymore. If this person is indeed taking on some work on themselves, it's likely that's why the devil is showing up. They may be doing some real soul work, maybe even like past life regression or karmic debt, discovery and healing. They may be struggling with addiction or codependency. Not all, but some, and you'll know if that's your person because there's just a few cards here that kind of indicate that there might be some issues with addiction, particularly the devil and temperance and the King of Cups. Because the King of Cups is like a counselor. And obviously, here's maybe alcohol or temperance. You don't usually read that way, but when it shows up with these other cards like that, it's I think it's kind of important to maybe point it out, just in case that's a message for somebody specific. And, with the Justice card here, I mean, it could bring legal trouble. So let's just address that now, if that speaks to you. And it may not at all. It's a very, very targeted message. Okay, but for you, the Five of Pentacles, like your luck's improving. Like you are coming out of a tough time. You're beginning to have some faith in yourself and the universe. You might be being more open with others, seeing positive changes in your love life, your social life, your bank account. Maybe you got a job, new job, promotion. Right? And the Chariot, right? Like there's sixes and the Chariot's a 7. So, you're coming out of this relationship and you're advancing. This relationship maybe took a big burden on you. You're a really caring person and you're a helper, and this person's not doing very well, and it made you feel defeated that you couldn't help them. And maybe the best way you could help them was to kind of free them up to do that work. Enabling and things like that aren't really effective. So, anyway, you're a 7. The Chariot's a 7. The Chariot is Cancer's card. Cancer's a water sign. Maybe your partner was a Cancer. Maybe you have a lot of Cancer in your chart. I don't know. But well, hear me talk about Jung a lot. I really like to read about Jung archetypes and those associations with the tarot. I work in a psychology field, so Carl Jung. So that, that kind of gives me a really good bridge between tarot and some psychology that I think is starting to gain more positive. He's getting looked at again, Jung. He's kind of been up and down in the psychology world as far as favorable, but I think he's coming back into a favorable light. We'll see. Anyway, that's not the point of any of this. But according to Jung, when a person becomes aware of how their personal consciousness, or the sum of their experiences, bonds with this collective unconscious, which is the universal realm that we all share. A state of individuation or wholeness of self can be achieved. And that's what's happening in the Chariot, right? If nothing else, the Chariot speaks to moving forward. But if we look more closely at the picture, here are these sphinxes that pull the Chariot. We can kind of conclude that this driver of this Chariot has managed to control and rein in some opposing aspects of their personality. The fact that these sphinxes are going to pull his chariot for him tells us that he's using his power. You're using your power. Um, you're you're discovering your strengths and you're using them to drive your life forward. With the Four Swords, I mean, it's natural when you're going through a big life change to have some fears and anxiety, but be careful not to let that anxiety and fear of the unknown um, keep you frozen. I mean, just keep writing. You're going, keep going. It may also mean that you're recovering from some illness at the time, some of you. Um, but really, it's just saying it's a good time for introspection and a good idea maybe to seek out some spiritual support. Maybe you're getting to the point where you want a mentor or you want to be understood. Everything else in your life seems to be going pretty well, except for maybe your love life right now, but that's okay. Because I see positive things coming. Um, so maybe you're just kind of looking for something else to fulfill you in a more spiritual and emotional way. Um, Even though you're more fulfilled in these, you know, more earthly matters. All right. This is a great kind of outcome for this person here. I mean, it looks like they're really doing the work because, I mean, they're alone here. This is a Nine of Pentacles. This is flippant abundance, right? This person's actually, they're going to be rewarded for some spiritual and personal work they're doing. What they're trying to manifest will come to be. And after they put the work in, and it looks like they really are with all these other cards here, they are coming into joy, security, and freedom. And that's something that they've lacked, or at least they perceived that they lacked. They had this lack mindset for a long time. And she's alone. She's alone right now. She finally took this time she needed. She has her bird. She looks so happy. So I don't think she's seeking necessarily any other kind of relationship or romantic love right now. She's just learning to be with herself, or they. I'm just saying she because this is a woman here on this card. Um, they're finally giving themselves some love and nurturing they've just been giving away. Um, and man, they're just, it's their glow up, right? And strength. Um, Strength is, I mean, it's overcoming challenges, specifically internal ones, like we've been talking about with your person here. It's overcoming fear and doubt. Maybe you're a Leo, right? Because this person here is with this lion, right? It's tamed. It's just a great big rise of self-confidence for your person. And I kind of think you're happy that that's the case. I think y'all really loved each other. I don't, I, the devil here sometimes signifies some unhealthy attachments, but I don't think that was your relationship. I think this person had a lot of other unhealthy attachments going on that kept them from watering this relationship, right? So, um, and the King of Swords, from the Queen of Cups to the King of Swords, that's a big move, right? So your person's learning to use logic and intellect in addition to intuition to make decisions. They used to make really impulsive and emotion-based decisions, right? So maybe now their emotional expression's a little less intense and dramatic. They're more disciplined. They've got their head kind of over their heart right now. And they're honest. It's kind of an interesting journey here for your person. So, I mean, it's no doubt the recent past has really influenced their desire or need to grow, and good on them. They're doing it. And whether that's in spite of you, and I'm not feeling that energy here at all, or if it's because of you, which is more what I believe is going on. They're growing rapidly, and really, you and this relationship have been the catalyst or the inspiration for this to happen. So they are really putting in the work, and it looks like it's going to pay off. I don't see any additional incoming love for this person. Um, but I mean, let's look at you. I mean, you have the Empress, the Page of Wands, and I don't know if you can see this here. Here's us. Seven of Pentacles. I think, honestly, guys, this. Oh, well, the Five of Pentacles is reversed. All the other readings I've done for this time period for the other signs have had a lot of reversals. No, I see a few more, but still nothing like the other readings. But the Empress, she's femininity, motherhood. You know, this can mean pregnancy in the near future for some of you. So if that's not what you want, I'm giving you a warning. Maybe you're already a parent, your relationship with your children it has become more close and nurturing. She kind of, the Empress wants us to embrace our emotional side and explore them, learn how to empathize, to be compassionate, to be nurturing. Or maybe that's just who we are already. um, this is encouraging you to be more emotional, and this is encouraging this person to be more logical. I'm hoping y'all are going to meet. You're going to balance. You're going to be in the